So to continue from the last part, we just need to finish up writing the composition of functions when we don't have a number, okay? So for example, here we have f of g. What we mean by that is f of g of x, okay? So if you remember what g of x was, it was defined as x squared plus 1. So we want f of x squared plus 1. Now the f function says take 3 times x and subtract 1. In other words, take 3 times whatever's in these parentheses and subtract 1. That's what the f of x function tells me. Okay, the f function says take 3 times whatever's in here and subtract 1. So f of x squared plus 1, I'm going to take 3 times whatever's in the parens and subtract 1. That's what the f function tells me to do. I was taking g of x. Well, that's x squared plus 1. That's defined right here. That's what g of x is. X squared plus 1. So instead of saying f of g of x, I can say f of x squared plus 1. I put that in the f function, so I take 3 times x squared plus 1 minus 1. And then I'll clean that up a little and distribute 3 through so that we get 3x squared plus 2 as our final expression for f of g. Other way around is different. This is not commutative. F of g doesn't equal g of f all the time. Okay, it might, but it doesn't always. G of f, see, that's g of f of x. Well, we already saw what the f function was. It's 3x minus 1. So I want g of 3x minus 1. Let's remember what the g function told me to do. It said take what's in the parentheses, square it, and add 1. Okay, g of x is x squared plus 1. So g of 3x minus 1 means take the 3x minus 1 and square it, right? X squared plus 1. So I'm going to add 1. I take what's in the parentheses, square it, and add 1. So that gives me 9x squared minus 6x plus 1, which is 9x squared minus 6x plus 2. Very different than what we got when we did f of g of x. G of f of x told me to take 3x minus 1, square it, and add 1. Hopefully you guys are okay with this. With the 3x minus 1, when I square that, remember that's 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. That's where I was getting the 9x squared minus 3x, that's minus 6x plus 1. Okay, just to refresh. So 9x squared minus 6x plus 1, that's 9x squared minus 6x plus 2. That's the answer for g of f of x. And the last one is f of f. Ooh, we're taking a function of itself. F of x. So that's f of, what was the f function? 3x minus 1? Okay, so I'm taking f of, instead of f of x, I'm writing 3x minus 1. Well, let's see, the f function told me to take what's in the parentheses, x, multiply it by 3 and subtract 1. So I'm going to take what's in the parentheses, multiply it by 3, and subtract 1. That's f of x. So that's 9x minus 3 minus 1, which is 9x minus 4. That's what f of x is. Okay? That's composition of functions.